Well, see if anybody comes on here. What's up, guys? It's your boy Nomad over here. Hopefully it doesn't echo too bad. I'm actually down here in the basement of my house. I'm working on some terminal tackle, that sort of thing, and making weights. And I thought it'd just be a good opportunity to do some Q&A and maybe do a channel update, that sort of thing. So who all's on right now? Just see there's just one person. And I know nothing about this live stream stuff, so that's really a main focus of this as well. Definitely don't need a green screen. That's ridiculous. Right. What's up, Jeff? Yeah, it's going pretty good, man. I appreciate you joining us. Okay, you're in Cincinnati? Yeah, I live down here kind of south and east of Newport, obviously, where I fish there. But working on some terminal tackle, stuff like that. If you have any questions or anything, feel free to ask away. But appreciate you joining up. Let's see here. See if I can give you a view of what I'm doing. So I've just got a little smelting pot, whatever you call it here. It's full of lead, and I'm making some 3 and 4 and 5 ounce bank sinkers. And I'd had a couple people ask me where I get all my weights from, and you see it. Costs too much to buy them, and I'm cheap and I'm poor. That's really loud. So again, you know, this is pretty much what they look like whenever they come out of the pot. And, you know, of course, everything's mirrored. They are quite warm, but that's basically a finished product. I typically will smooth them out around the edges. You can see a little bit of slag on the bottom. But I make all my own weights. If you're ever around me and you're short on weights, there's probably a good possibility I got a few I can spare. You know, who else is on? See, we've got all the way up to 2 viewers. But yeah, so let me just give you a little channel update. Obviously, those, if anybody actually comes back and watches this later on, I've had my channel really for about the last 4 years or so. I think the age of it's a lot, I mean, probably 7 or 8 years or something like that. But really, Nomad Fisherman's been around for, I think 2001, or 2001. 2020 is whenever it kind of started. That's whenever I bought my Hobie kayak, and 2021 is whenever I started trying to get a little more serious with it. But you know, life happens, and for the last couple of years, the channel has been well, just to put it plainly, I've been lazy and I haven't done anything with it. So I'm in a little bit better position now, and you know, life has kind of allowed me to pursue it again, and you know, fortunately I have great family support for it, and I'm really hoping to make another jump this year. See what you have to say, Jeff. No promise, happy to find your channel, love to fish. Can only pay lake fish around here. over here it's very hard to find places on the river to bank fish, as most of it is all private owned. Yeah, no, I understand exactly what you're saying. I've gone up and down the Ohio a little bit on my, like I said, I've got I do have a Hobie kayak, and there's a lot of places that are hard to get to. And like you said, I mean, you're walking through people's backyards, especially around the Cincinnati area. So, you know, I think that's part of the fun for me, is to try to find those places that I can access from the bank, you know, but also around Cincinnati area. You also kind of got to be careful, especially night fishing. There's quite a few people out there, undesirables. So that's been a kind of a new adventure for me as well. Jeff, what's your let's talk PBs. What's your PB? Say blue. Yeah, no, I'm a poor man too. I sometimes have dreams of owning a boat, but that's really about it. I'm not in a position to buy one right now. Hopefully soon. And by soon, I mean, it's in my 5-year plan. $54.7 blue out at Cedar Lake. Well, that's a good fish. There's nothing wrong with that fish, that's for sure. I think honestly, my PB blue is probably just like in the mid-30s. I haven't always lived where blues are. You know, I grew up in northwest Oklahoma, and you know, there's a really good solid like flathead population out there, and of course you catch channels everywhere. But blues, I had to travel to go fish in areas where there were blues. You get to central Oklahoma, eastern Oklahoma. There's plenty of lakes and rivers where there's some blues, but up there in northwest Oklahoma, I think my entire childhood, I think I caught one blue, and that is it. So again, probably mid-30s, 35 pounds, something like that. Biggest flathead is, you know, probably 50 to 52 pounds. I didn't have a scale. It was 48 and a half inches long, something like that. And I caught it whenever I was 20 years old. Right. Guys, I don't really know, again, I'm new to this whole live stream thing. I don't know who all is on the channel right now. So let me, I can't see you unless you comment. So I'm going to try to go to you right now. Look on it up here. Right, there I am. Good looking guy. Okay. And let's see if it'll tell me who's watching. No, it does not. Biggest flathead, 40.3 pounds. There's definitely nothing wrong with that either. That's probably, so that one I caught a couple weeks ago, again, didn't have a scale. My wife has since bought me a scale. I've had like, I don't know, 5 or 6 of those Rapala or Rapala scales that you buy at Walmart over the years, and they're good for about 1 season, and then they're kind of junk. So my wife did buy me a scale the other day. We'll see how it works, but I didn't have a scale for it, but it measured like 45 inches, which would have put it in the 41 pound range, something like that. And it was pre-spawn, so it had a good belly on it. So, I'm pretty confident it was in those lower 40s. But a really good fish, and it was the biggest flathead I'd caught on video as well. All those that are keeping track. Again, guys, appreciate you guys coming on here and listening to me. And I guess watching me make weights. But I apologize. I can't see who all's watching. I know we have a pretty small audience right now, but I do appreciate you guys coming on here. So back to the channel. You know, I've had career changes over the last few years, and it's kind of made it where I've really been really too busy to pursue the channel the way I'd like to. And you know, with that in mind, I took a break from it. I think I made like 4 or 5 videos in the last like year and a half, and but now, you know, this year I'm working on putting out some more content. Again, my family's super supportive of it. I plan on going out on Friday, either Jeff back across the river from you, or down to Meldal, but my wife and I are going to go do some night fishing, and again, talking about the supportive nature of everything. She, you know, she told me yesterday, I was like, so what do you want to do on Friday? She's like, well, I was kind of hoping we'd go fishing. So I am about that life. So I think we'll go out probably tomorrow night or Friday morning and catch our bait, and go out and see if we can maybe get lucky and catch us some fish. But you know, the bigger deal is just being able to go out there. You know, right now this time of year, we're right in the middle of catfish spawn, and you know, hopefully there's going to be some fish that are coming off nests, and you know, maybe we can get lucky and get into 1 or 2 or whatever. But it doesn't really matter. You know, just really want to get out there and just experience it. Spend some time together, and like I said, the fish are bonuses. So, but I will tell you that I've got to get her on a big fish, because she's, unfortunately that night I caught that really nice flathead. She was at work, and she was super happy that I got lucky and caught a nice fish, but she was kind of mad that she wasn't there for it and that she wasn't the one that caught it. So again, great relationship, and love the fact I get to share that with, you know, my person. So let's see, what'd you say, Jeff? Me and my dad used to make our own sinkers. Yeah, my uncle Billy, actually, he kind of the one that kind of got me addicted to catfishing. We, whenever I was 12, 13 years old, we would go all the time, and I even, you know, used to go noodling, things like that with him. But you know, from an early age, he was doing this, and he was making like 5 ounce sinkers, and we was using them at Salt Plains Dam in northwest Oklahoma, Nescatunga, Oklahoma, for those keeping track. But so, you know, that's, you know, a few years ago whenever I started making these, it was really with the, you know, one thought in mind that I can make these and save a whole lot of money. And then the other thing is, you know, it makes me think of my childhood and spending time with my uncles. He would have a gas burner, and he had this old cast iron skillet, and he would melt them down in the skillet and then dump them into the molds. I'm not doing that. I'm not necessarily about that life, but you know, I've gotten spoiled. A couple years ago, I'll show you what I got here. A couple years ago, whenever I started doing it, I started with just a little burner like this one here. And you can get these, I think, for maybe like $30 or something like that. This was actually gifted to me. And whenever I started getting serious about this, but also getting serious about making my own jig heads, things like that, I upgraded to the, you know, a little bit nicer equipment, things like that. But again, you don't have to have anything fancy. Cast iron skillet and propane burner. That was good enough for my uncle, and was certainly good enough for me. So, but yeah, so I guess, I mean, does anybody have any questions? I see we got a few people on here. You know, sometimes I get questions about fishing equipment and things like that. And guys, you know, I'm novice at best at this. But the other thing is I don't have anything that's like super expensive. Everything I have except for like one fishing pole. Started off at either Walmart, peddlers malls, or, you know, yard sales, that sort of thing. I mean, I got a bunch of ugly sticks. You guys know that's what I use for catfishing. 7.5 foot ugly stick, or 7 foot ugly sticks. You know, they're medium heavy action, but they're really like medium action rods, guys. I have a KastKing, so that's, you know, that's like an Amazon or an eBay special thing. You know, this one here is a Bass Pro Shops, but I bought it on eBay, real. And I've got a bunch of like different Abus, different, you know, this is probably an early 2000s Abu. This one's from the 70s, no joke. I've got another one that is right here that I pieced together. Actually, I bought that off a marketplace whenever I had COVID the first time. I went and met a guy and was like, hey, just throw it in my seat. He walked up to my truck, threw it in the seat. I gave him $10 for that reel. And, you know, don't tell the government I wasn't quarantining properly. Yeah. Then, of course, Berkeley Lightning Rod with a Lew's reel. Again, Lew's laser, bought it from Walmart. This is the nicest rod I've probably ever owned, and it's a Fenwick HMG inshore. Again, I bought it online on sale, and it's got an Abu Garcia Pro Max reel on it or whatever. But that's the majority of what I have, guys. I just find stuff, repurpose it. This is like probably an 80s or maybe, well, it's newer than that. I'd say 90s Abu Garcia. It has the plastic spool. And I just fix this stuff and make it work for me. Let's see, Jeff. Yep, we were close to the same way. Dad had a 3-burner Coleman stove, cast iron pot, and cast iron. Yeah, that's, see, I mean, you don't need anything fancy. I got a little bit fancier whenever I started, like I said, pouring, you know, different jig heads, things like that. A lot easier to pour with this setup, but especially whenever you're talking, some of those jig heads were like 32nd ounce, so it's really just like a drop. But I got fancy then, but you know, again, everything I bought on sale. And you know, I have a million people that tell me one day I'll get serious and about this and start buying quality equipment. But you know, if I'm being honest, that stuff over there does it for me. I mean, it does the job for me. I love kayak fishing, and those ugly sticks are perfect for me. I'd set up my entire Hobie based off of Justin from Kayak Catfish, and whenever he started his channel, he was using ugly sticks just like that for years and years and years. And you know, he was catching, you know, down there in Tennessee River whales. So I don't know. In my opinion, that if it's good enough for him, it's good enough for me. You know, my channel will never be what his is. But I think sometimes it's okay to spend money. I think there's ways and places that you can go through and spend money. Such as like I spent a ton of money on that Hobie kayak that I have. I think I spent like $2,300 on it, and it came with one battery and a Lowrance 7 Elite TI, you know, fish finder, graph, whatever you guys want to call it. And I spent a ton of money on that. But also at the time, I was probably 350 pounds, and you know, I was on my little weight loss journey that I did. Obviously, I'm still huge, but you know, I was 415 pounds, so I lost some weight, but I needed something that would carry me plus my equipment and would be stable. So I did spend up a little bit on that, but beyond that, again, Walmart and internet purchases. I'm I'm not going to Cabela's and spending a ton of money and on things that I think are maybe a little bit overrated. Joshua Perham. Good evening. How's everybody doing? Well, Josh, I'm doing great. Just trying to do like a little channel update here and working on some terminal tackle, you know, making some 3, 4, 5 ounce weights and just kind of trying out this live thing. How are you doing, Joshua? Let's see. Jeff, you said, I've got 10 foot, 11 foot, 12 foot surf rods with Abu Garcia and pin reels. Yeah, so I mean, you're really set up with some quality equipment to do some bank fishing. You know, obviously, both, you know, if you find yourself on the shore of the Ohio, or you know, if you do hit the Pay Lakes or whatever, you're set up pretty well. Big fan, obviously, the Abu Garcias. I think there's a billion of them out there, and you know, if you take care of them, like most of these I've rebuilt, put new bearings in, things like that. If you take care of them, they'll take care of you. And then I think obviously pin reels pretty much speaks for itself. They use them all over the planet for a reason. I'm good. Do you sell your sinkers? I don't. I would rather give you some, Josh. If I ran into you, I'd rather give you some. Don't tell my wife I said that, because she said I should sell them. But yeah, so here's the problem. And I'll tell you something amazing that has helped and that has helped me be able to do this and have the amount of lead and stuff that I have. You got to have a lead guy. And at one time I had a lead guy, and my lead guy owned a tire shop. And so I hollered at him, and he brought me a bucket that was probably 200 pounds of lead, and I could pretty much do anything I wanted to do. I could make them, I could give them away, and up to this point, that's pretty much what I've done, is I've just given them away if I run into somebody that needs them. But you know, I know like these 5 ounce weights, that word is gonna be hot. I know these 5 ounce weights, you go to a lot of places, they're, you know, close to $2 a piece. So it wouldn't take very long at a rate like that, even a discounted rate, to make a little bit of money. But, you know, again, at this point, I don't sell them. Maybe something I get into in the future. But right now, if I ran into you, I typically have about 10 pounds with me. You can ask my wife. She grabs my backpack that I carry down with me, and every once in a while, and it's really heavy. But like, I mean, right here, I've probably just made, you know, 3 pounds worth of weights or something like that. So I always have a bunch with me. So if you see me sometime, Josh, I don't know where you're from. You may be from Alaska. But yeah, if you see me, come holler at me. I'll give you a handful. I'm actually going Saturday night to a Pay Lake for a big 4th of July weekend contest. Well, that sounds fun. Like I said, I'm going to go with my wife Friday night and do some fishing either somewhere on the Ohio. You know, we either right down where the mouth of the Licking pours into the Ohio, or Meldal, or I may drive over to Maysville. I've got a bunch of videos from Maysville where, well, I say a bunch, I don't know, 4 or 5 videos from Maysville at a location there on the Ohio that I really like, and I haven't been there in 2 years. So we may take a little road trip, but you know, I'm hoping to be able to catch some fish that are coming off of beds. I typically, until about mid-July, catfishing typically sucks here in Kentucky, up here on the Ohio, based on my experience. From about mid-June to mid-July, it's pretty rough, but I'm hoping I can get some fish off of beds. And you know, if we go and we catch, you know, just some dinks or whatever, I'd be happy with that. You know, just spend some quality time with the wife. Okay, so you live in Kentucky as well. Okay, yeah, I live up here around Newport area, up here in northern Kentucky as well, Josh. So let's see. But Jeff, good luck to you in that tournament, man. Let me know how you do. You know, I've thought about entering things like that. I'll be honest with you. I'm super competitive, but I'm going to go somewhere like that and probably get, hey, a catch is a catch in my book. Yeah, no, I agree. I would go somewhere like that and probably get absolutely toasted. So, you know, you guys would smoke me. You guys that take that stuff so seriously. And I don't know if you do or not, Jeff. I just love to catch. I live in Bardstown. Okay, yeah, I'm familiar with the area over there. I haven't been there in a good while. There was a possibility I was going to get a job in Bowling Green not too long ago. I say not too long ago. Shoot, now it's been about 8 or 9 months ago, but I know that that's not super close together, but it's not too far away. Certainly a lot closer to Bardstown than what I am right now, but yeah, I am somewhat familiar with the area. You guys got a lot of bourbon going on down that way, and I think you guys have a couple good gun shows as well. So what kind of videos do you guys really like? Obviously, I mean, we're sitting here doing a live feed, but just wonder what kind of videos you guys actually like. You know, you like catching cooks, just your run-of-the-mill catfish, you know, videos, bank videos, kayak videos, like the throw in some walleye videos. What do you like? All right. Well, I love doing the catch and cook videos. And I mean, again, if you guys look back through any of my previous content, there's quite a bit of old catch and cook videos. A lot of like channel cat catch and cook videos, and things like that. A few walleye ones in there. You know, that sort of thing. I've got a couple down around Wolf Creek Dam and so on and so forth. But those are probably my favorite videos to make, probably because I'm fat and I like to eat. But I get to fish and then I get to eat, so it's like a win-win-win, really. So, but those are probably my favorite videos to make. Let's see. Jeff, have you ever done very well in those tournaments? Let's see, things you enjoy. Oh, things that I liked, enjoy taking bank fishing for catfish. So, well, let me tell you, if it's me and I can really minimize things, but with the channel, I've found that it's impossible to bring everything that I need. Every single time I go out, I forget something. But with the channel, you know, I got to worry about lighting. I got to worry about, you know, camera batteries, things like that. Abilities to charge cameras or keep cameras going. And now this time of year, I got to worry about finding areas that the cameras won't overheat. So. But as far as like odds and ends that I take with me, you know, always just make sure that I have, you know, the basics covered. I make sure I have all my terminal tackle. You know, if I break off, so I got to make sure I have plenty of line, plenty of hooks, you know, weights, things like that. Things that sometimes a person won't think about is, you know, swivels and little bitty things like that. I don't care much about having grippers or anything. I mean, I don't mind grabbing the fish myself. The nets are nice, you know, at spillways, anywhere where there's like strong currents. So I'll typically have a net with me if I'm in an area like that. Like if I'm at Wolf Creek Dam, I'll have a net with me. If I'm fishing over a ledge, like at Maysville, there's a fenced off area, so I like having a net there so I can reach over and still net a fish because you can't reach over and grab it. So So nets are certainly really nice. I don't care much about, you know, dragging seats with me or chairs with me. I'll always find somewhere to sit down. And, you know, my wife calls me goofy because, listen, if there ain't a chair or a rock for me to sit down, I'll sit down on the ground. I'm not too good for that. If I need to sit down, I'm going to sit down. Make sure I have a good pair of pliers with me to unhook a fish and a good knife, that sort of thing. That's pretty much it. Let's see, Jeff says, run-of-the-mill catfishing videos. I know all catfishing pay lakes come from rivers, so watch tips and tricks. Try those at lakes. Yeah, you know, the biggest deal for me is just making sure that that I've learned how to tie quality knots. You know, big fan of circle hooks and tying snell knots on circle hooks. You know, I pretty much tie 4 knots really. Obviously, I like a no-knot snell. I like the Palomar knot, which is, you know, phenomenal. I like a double, or like a double uni knot, and then I also like a I don't even know what it's called, like a loop knot or whatever for fishing jigs or whatever. Andrew said, have you gone sauger fishing? So I have quite a few videos where I've caught sauger. I've got one at Fallsley, Ohio, where I think I caught 5 or 6 sauger. Most of them pretty small there. I slipped and fell in the water. I always remember the times that I slipped and fell. But I also have quite a few videos where I've caught walleye, and I think I've even got one saugeye on video as well. I've got one at Cave Run Lake and 1 or 2 walleye videos from Cave Run Lake, but definitely one with the sauger or saugeye in it. And Wolf Creek Dam, I do really well down there. And even a couple weeks ago, I think I caught 1 or 2 saugers on my last full-length video with that flathead as well. So I typically, what I'll do on the river, guys, I'll cast a line or 2 out to catfish, and then I'm one of those people that if I don't keep myself busy, I'm checking baits a lot. So I like to have 1 rod to fish with. So I'll almost always be catching white bass or, you know, some stripers or saugers or whatever while I'm actually catfishing, just to keep my hands from being an idle. Have you? Yes, I've won a few and taken second place a few times. All right. Well, I mean, I know some of those places that can be pretty lucrative. You know, I'll be honest with you. I've never entered any kind of fishing competition. Well, that's not true. I entered one a few years ago. We were fishing South Fork of the Kentucky River, and it actually got rained out. But me and a couple of buddies, we still went ahead and floated the river and fished. I think I caught 22 or 23 fish that day. It's also on video as well. But either way, haven't entered a bunch of fishing tournaments for sure. Maybe something to do in the future though. I think they do a few up here on the Ohio too, kayak tournaments, that sort of thing on occasion. So I may have to see if I can enter one of those at some point. Hopefully that answered your question, Joshua, with the things I like to take whenever I'm bank fishing. You know, what's important is to minimize what you have to take. That way, you know, 1 trip, ideally. No more than 2. Like I said, it's gotten kind of ridiculous. I need to get me a cart, honestly, with the filming and things like that, especially night fishing, because you know, I've got lights, I've got a battery box that I made that's got a 10 amp hour Dakota lithium battery in it to keep all my devices charged, but also run my light. A million flashlights. You'll never have enough flashlights. and things like that. Also, guys, I don't know if you guys like to use live bait or not, but I don't know if you guys have ever used this Better Bait. It's like a granulated salt kind of chemical, but it has really helped me save a lot of bait. You know, I obviously always run bait on an aerator, that sort of thing, but you know, there's laws in a lot of states where you're not allowed to take water from one lake and put fish in it and take them somewhere else. You know, they worry about you transporting invasive plant life and everything else. So this allows me to use, you know, tap water. You know, I put about a half a cap full of this chemical in my aerator and or in my bait tank or whatever, and it helps with their slime coats. It helps, obviously it eliminates or neutralizes the chlorine in the water, and it's a really, really great product. And like I said, this is a 3-pound bottle of it. I think right now at Cabela's, this is like 48 bucks. But I bought this like 3 years ago, and it's still more than halfway filled. So it'll last you a long time. So that 48 bucks is, you know, it's a little bit steep, but, or at least at one time, but if it keeps your bait alive, it's a pretty good product. Let's see, lake I go to, Lake Julian, has a Saturday night contest from 6p to 11p, $10 to get in plus your fishing ticket. Okay, yeah, that's not too bad. That's not too bad. Is that near Cincinnati? Again, guys, I'm new to the area. I moved up here in February, so I'm super new to the area. Let's see, who else is on here? I wish I knew how to actually run this phone. I've turned my weight deal up. I made enough, guys. I actually have probably, I don't know. I made some of these a while back. I probably have 10 or 15 pounds of weights in my backpack right now, but I thought it would be a you know, a good little subject to cover. And again, I'm not ever going to have too many weights. So I know, like I told you guys, if you run into me and you need some, or if you're low on hooks or anything like that, I'm not about just giving everything away. But you know, the one thing that I love about fishermen, or in that fisherman culture, is you know, we'll help people out. We'll help each other out. I know there's been a million times that I've helped somebody net fish, grab fish. They've helped me probably twice as many times. Yeah, if I can help you guys out, help you out with pointers, if you run into me and you're like, man, listen, I've been getting snagged all day long, I got to go find some weights, I got you. There's probably a good possibility I got some circle hooks or something like that too that I could probably spare. I buy them in bulk. I think that's the best way to do it. You know, I got some you know, Gamakatsu knives, hooks, things like that. I've got 10-aught, you know, demon circle hooks and things like that. But I buy them like 50 at a time, and I just about order all that stuff on the internet. And just to be able to buy them in bulk and save a nickel here and a nickel there. Again, I'm just a poor boy, and just trying to support my addiction, I guess, so to speak. So if I can cut a corner or whatever, I certainly do, and hopefully you guys do too. Yeah, it's right over in Harrison, Ohio. Okay. Yeah, that's not too bad. So let's see, questions. You guys have any other questions? I don't plan on being on here for very long, but again, wanted to do this stuff. Any questions about other tackle, or you know, my kayak or anything? I'll show you guys if you want evidence that I haven't, my wife was going to kill me. Hopefully she's not on here right now. Hopefully she never watches this. Let Well, it's dark in here right now. I got to change the bulb. See, there's always things I got to get done. But here's proof positive that I haven't got my kayak out this year, and probably that I have too much crap. So kayak is in here in the basement. It won't even really fit out these doors. I have to carry it out sideways, and it's a super heavy kayak. And obviously all my other equipment, things like that. But yeah, I need to get the kayak out bad. I really do enjoy bank fishing a lot. It reminds me of my youth and things like that. So I definitely really enjoy it as well. So either way, guys, appreciate you getting on here. Nobody else has any questions. I'm going to clean up my mess before my wife gets home from work so she doesn't kill me. So again, appreciate you guys. I'm going to try to be putting out more and more content. Hopefully in the near future. Like I said, we're going this weekend. We're going to go Friday, and I'll be honest with you, probably go again on Sunday. We do have guests coming over on Saturday. We're going to do a little cookout here and go watch the fireworks display somewhere, wherever the wife wants to go. You know, she's in charge. And but we're definitely going to go Friday night, you know, and then again probably on Sunday as well. Happy wife, happy life. Oh, that look at that. That is the missus. And Vaughn Littleton. Listen, Vaughn, probably one of my oldest subscribers. Not that you're old, Vaughn, but longest subscribers. I think he became came on the channel whenever I just had a couple hundred subscribers. So, and I think he even won a giveaway one time. I got to fish with him at Cave Run. So, good to see you, Vaughn. Laugh out loud. I am old. Yeah, listen. Hey, my wife, who's on here right now, love you, baby, keeps pointing out how white this beard is getting. So, I'm old as well. Hopefully you got that boat up and running. Yeah, Jeff, good night, man. It was a pleasure chatting with you too. Vaughn, you're not that old though, but you could, you know, if you're ever interested in coming out of retirement, look me up. I probably got something for you up here in Newport now. All right, guys, listen, I'm gonna sign out. Really enjoyed talking with you, and look forward to you know, putting out some more content as well. Vaughn, if you haven't watched, I know you like, you know, the, you know, bass fishing, things like that, crappie fishing. Yeah, I'm in Newport now. Yeah, I'm not gonna say what I do. You know what I did before, but I'm not gonna put it out here on the internet. But nothing criminal. But I don't want that kind of attention on the channel. But yeah, I'm working at a place up here. I've been here for 7 months now. So, or at this place, at this, you know, job for 7 months. I've been here in Newport for about 4.5 months. So, you know, as far as living up here goes. So, been kind of bouncing around a little bit. But if you haven't watched the last video, Vaughn caught a sauger, you know, so there's that. Also caught a really nice flathead as well. So, you know, if you haven't watched it, take a look, man. Either way, appreciate you guys. Y'all take care. See if I can figure out how to get out of this video. Any ideas? No matter how. Hey, remember, life is good.